catches the worm. The early, not so early bird catches the worm, but we have to go back a few years, back to when I was a child. Chicken. My dad made the best chicken in the world. I remember during the springtime and the summer months, we would pack up the car and go on picnics. Now, my dad didn't care where we would drive. He would drive for hours and hours and hours. All he just wanted to do was drive and eat. He would make the chicken and put it in the back of the car. We had a Ford Country Squire station wagon. And the smell of that chicken, it would wave through the entire car, and I could hardly wait to eat. My siblings all got together the other night, and we said, you know, we should really replicate that chicken. My dad's been deceased for many years, but we all have fond memories of the chicken. So we decided to have a cook-off. Now, I thought about the cook-off, and this would be hard. Would my older sister have the advantage? She was older, she might have better memories. And she also got my mom's little recipe box. Maybe my mom wrote down my dad's recipe. That might not be fair. And then my older brother, Bill. He was a cheater. Even when I was a little kid, he cheated in all kinds of board games that we played, Monopoly, Yahtzee, Candyland. He probably still would cheat. And his wife is a really good cook. That might be a problem. Then there was my other older brother, Leo. Now, he's not very competitive, and he really doesn't like to cook, but he could be the dark horse out of this whole competition. Then finally, my younger brother. Now, he's very competitive. He was even emailing people saying, I am going to win. And ever since we were even small children, he tried to outdo me. I remember we were in the sandbox, and I built a Mount Diablo, and I was really proud of my Mount Diablo, and he said, my Mount Diablo is bigger and better than yours. This was going to be a bad race, but I was up for the challenge of it. The night before the competition, my little brother called me and said that he had gotten some fancy chicken at Whole Foods and was marinating it. Oh no, I was in trouble. Then my sister called and said she was marinating it in some special herbs. Oh no, what was I going to do? I hadn't even bought the chicken. It was too late that night. I went to bed and I was going to get up early. I woke up the next day. I looked at my watch and I was really late. I only had 2 hours before I had to get to my brother's house. I rushed to Safeway and I picked up a chicken. It was only 69 cents a pound. What a deal. And then I asked the butcher to chop it up for me. I've never cut up a chicken. I get chicken that's already deboned, just breast. It doesn't look like any kind of an animal, wings and fowl. So I rushed home with the chicken, ready to cook it. Now my dad's recipe is like a hybrid chicken recipe. It's not fried, and it's a little bit fried and it's a little bit baked. So you can't say it's fried or baked. It's both. What he did, I washed the chicken, and then he would mix milk and eggs in a bowl, and then put the chicken in the mixture. Then he would season it with a lot of Lawry's seasoned salt and pepper. Then he would get a brown paper bag, put flour in there, some more Lawry's seasoned pepper, put the pieces of chicken in the bag, shake it up really well, and then fry it up in the pan. Fry it up just enough to brown it, and he used peanut oil because it withstands high temperatures. Then he would put it in the oven, and here's the secret. He would line the cooking pot with just a little bit of water, or sometimes beer. And they'd put a lid on it, cook it in the oven for an hour. And it was yummy, moist. Well, I did all that, and it was time to load my prize poultry. I put it in my car, and I rushed over to my brother's house. I got there just in time. I was the last contestant. I was whisked into the one room. I put my chicken in the room, and all the siblings, all 5 of us, went into the other room, and my sister-in-laws were going to judge the contest. They gave each of us a sampling of each piece of chicken. The first piece of chicken, you know, I was afraid, would I be able to tell which one was mine? Were they all gonna taste the same? How hard was this contest gonna be? The first piece was, I could tell it was just fried. It didn't have that, it had a crunchy texture. The second one was very bland. That wasn't like my dad's. The third one, that tasted really good. A little bit peppery, but it tasted the most like my dad's. That was gonna be the competition because I could tell, I don't think it was mine. Then the fourth one was, it had rosemary. My dad never cooked with rosemary. The fifth one, I think that was mine. I could tell that was really moist and good. We tallied our votes, and the ladies took them in the other room, and then they announced the winner. And the winner is or was Rita. Yay! I guess you can guess the moral of the story. The early bird may catch the worm, but the late bird takes home the prize.